This Air Jordan 3 is flying under the radar, and I don't know why, because these things are nice. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Air Jordan 3 Lucky Shorts, and I'll be doing a comparison against the UNC Air Jordan 3 and the PE version. So make sure you guys stick around to the end of the video for the comparisons and poll results, because when you see the results, you're actually going to be pretty shocked. Oh yeah, and if you didn't know by now, my name is DJ, and this is the DNA Show. So starting with the box right here, as you can see, classic to your modern day retro style Air Jordan 3 box with the alternate colors. So typically what they do is take some of the accent colors or the dominant colors, whatever it may be, and they align that with the sneaker box, so that way it's a lot easier for you to identify the shoes in the collection, and then also have just slightly a little bit more of a storytelling element to the shoe. And honestly, I'm not mad at that at all. Now reading the size tag, it says Air Jordan 3 Retro Summit White Hydrogen Blue, and retail on these was $200, which kind of makes me understand why the shoe is still available at most stores. Now lifting open the lid right here, you have your all over cement print paper, and peeling that back, you got the shoe. Oh, you got the shoe. So now this pair in particular does not come with a special hang tag or any special laces or additional laces or anything like that, but there are some cool features that were added to this shoe that are a little bit different than the previous retro. Now before I get into going over all the details, styles, cuts, and material of the sneaker, you know we got to talk about the history first. Back in 1988, the Air Jordan 3 hit the streets, and we have so many iconic moments from Michael Jordan dunking from the free throw line, his appearance with the Black Cements in the All-Star game, and obviously all the crazy highlights from that season. Now this pair in particular dates back to even farther than then, and we're going back to his college days. Now I'm not sure if you guys remember in the Space Jam movie, but there was a reference to Michael Jordan needing his lucky shorts in that movie as well. If you look at some of these images from back in the day, you can see that he did actually have his old practice shorts underneath his game shorts in the NBA, and it was actually cool because Jordan Brand decided to release his lucky shorts to the public. I still got the tag on these, I haven't worn them yet, but this was a while ago when these came out, and they have the same type of branding on there with the UNC and the XL right here. Luckily I wear an XL, so that makes sense. And then you have the Jumpman branding here on the other side of the shorts, but this is a resemblance to his OG, yet these are a lot baggier and a longer cut than the original pair from back in the day. So from the late 80s to the mid 90s to the early 2000s to even current time, a lot of sneakerheads or Jordan enthusiasts have heard about this story of Michael Jordan's lucky shorts. But Jordan Brand has never actually taken that storyline and created a shoe until we got these right here. Now what made them decide the Air Jordan 3 in particular, I'm not exactly sure as to why they did that. So if you guys know, let me know down below in the comment section. I do have a couple theories about that, which we will talk about a little bit later once we get into all the details. Now over the years also, we have seen the UNC Air Jordan 3. Originally this was a PE that was given to the students and staff at the university, and a few years later we then saw a retro iteration that was given to the public without the UNC branding on the tongue. There were some differences when it comes to how they went about the cuts, the materials, and the color blocking and the different elements to that, which I have done a full comparison review with the retro version and the PE version. So if you want to check that out, make sure you guys go watch that after this video. I'll try to link it for you down below in the description as well. But we definitely have to reference these two shoes because it creates a great debate as to why people may or may not want to add this pair to their collection, which we'll talk about a little bit later as well. So now that you guys know a little bit more about the lucky shorts, let's go ahead and get into all the styles, cuts, materials, and details of this sneaker. Starting with the outsole right here, you have your classic Air Jordan 3 bottom. Well, kind of classic. It doesn't have the Nike branding, but that's because it's a retro. Typically when you have a retro, you have Jordan branding here and a Jordan Jumpman on the back end like you see here. If it's going to be Nike Air on the back tab, that means you have Nike on the bottom. Now besides that, you're going to have a light gray here, kind of more of a blue undertone to that light gray all throughout the outsole. And then you have your sail color here on the back end, and then your Jordan branding all in blue with the blue border and background. This color is going to be a lot more similar to the color that you see on the midsole, and then the powder blue here on the ball of the foot is going to be more similar to the blue that you see on the tongue. Now going up to the midsole right here, you're going to see you have that same two-tone classic OG color blocking when it comes to the Air Jordan 3s. So you're going to have that UNC powder blue, whatever color you want to call it, or what did they say on the box again? Hydrogen blue. I don't know where that came from. And besides that, you're going to have your sail colored midsole on the bottom half, and then your sail exposed air unit on the back end around the heel. Now going to the upper, you're going to have a premium set of materials, and this is something that I really love about this sneaker, and a reason why I think people are sleeping on this shoe, because they did a really good job on these. When it comes to the mudguard and vamp of the shoe, you're gonna have a nice tumbled leather, and on the heel and toe of the shoe, you're gonna have a nice tan suede. Now, some people could say these look like the Craft 3s or the Amamaniers, and then obviously, yes, they could compare them to the UNC 3s as well. And I think because of that, that's why people are kind of hesitant on it, saying they may have had a previous pair from the past. So because of that, they're like, you know what, I could hold off on these and probably try to catch these on discount. And honestly, at this rate, these might be one of those discount shoes. Let me know what you guys think down below. Now, besides from that, you're gonna have a nice premium tumbled leather here on the tongue. Now, when it comes to that lace holes, you're gonna have that same blue like you saw on the midsole. That's gonna be on the front and top end of the shoe. Then you're gonna have those sail plastic pieces right here with the 3 around the center of the foot. These come standard with a pair of sail laces, and all throughout the collar and insole, you're gonna see more of an off-white color on that, with the blue Jumpman that's gonna match the same color as the midsole. And then on the back end of the tongue, this is gonna be another cool detail that we were talking about earlier, which is kind of making things make sense, but we shall see. Typically on the back end of the tongue, depending on the retro, you might see a size tag, or maybe if it was a collaboration or something cool, unique to a storyline, they might add a cool stitching. But this time on here, they decided to go with a square white patch. It says Air Jordan in blue, then you have XL 87 to 88 in red, and then you have do not machine wash, do not tumble dry, do not bleach, do not iron. And then it has more washing instructions like you would see on the pair of shorts. And just below that, it says designed in Beaverton, Oregon, MJ-4 spring 2025. So on the tag, as you can see, there's representation of the sneaker, the year 87-88, and 87-88 could be the year of the Air Jordan 3 and the production and how it went along during that process of releasing, and obviously the details of where the shoe was made and when it plans on releasing spring 2025. Today's partner is Sneaker Throne. They have multiple options when it comes to durable and high quality display cases. One of my personal favorites is the drop side display case. I'm a size 13 and I can easily fit my shoes inside of here, and I have hundreds of these stacked throughout my rooms to display my sneakers. When it comes to the cases in particular, you have 4 different color options: clear, black, white, and red. So if you're looking at grabbing one of these for yourself or for someone else, make sure you guys check out sneakerthrone.com, and don't forget to use the discount code DNAShow at checkout for 10% off for all your orders. Also, before I forget to mention, you have a Dream Cell insole on here, so that's not the best, it's not the worst, but again, we'll take what we can get. Now going to the back end on the tab, again, it's not a pure white, but kind of that off-white look to it, and then you got the blue Jumpman and the Air just below that. Overall, again, this is a beautiful sneaker, and I think it checks a lot of boxes for not only an older collector, you know, looking for nostalgia, storylines, things like that, but also a newer collector that wants to get in, catch something affordable, actually be able to hit on a pair of retros, and being it as an Air Jordan 3, I think again, another great addition to the collection. I could see myself purchasing these as a young sneakerhead or as an old sneakerhead, because I know it may seem like shoes are meant for everybody to come out all the time, but Jordan Brand actually does have a mindset of which shoes go to what type of consumers, and not every single shoe is for every single person. So now that you guys have seen some details about the shoe, let's go ahead and compare them to the UNC general release and the player edition shoe, just so you guys can see some of the differences on how they went about those compared to these, and why you may or may not like that pair over this pair or vice versa. So first things first, starting with the outsole, as you can see, 2 completely different outsoles. This is the general release version first. We'll start with this and then we'll go with the PE next. Now when you look at the bottoms, you can see the navy, the gray, the blues, everything's different. But one thing that I really love about the UNC general release, if you look at the Jordan branding here, you can actually see the navy behind it, and it's a lot easier to read the text that says Jordan, compared to in this, it just looks like a blue blob. Now going up to the midsoles, this is one thing that is very, very different and interesting, because when I looked at this general release, I was like, man, these are shinier than the PE, because the PE has a really matte finish. But when I put the UNC next to the Lucky Shorts, these things look like they have a great matte finish, because the Lucky Shorts have a crazy high gloss on them. And then another huge thing that stands out is what the elephant print on the front and back ends of the shoe. Now one thing that I can say is similar about these two shoes is they have the original 88 cut, and we've been seeing this on the Air Jordan 3 retros over the years. So this is one thing that I really do love about this model, honestly both of these pairs, because they got back to that OG style and they've been getting in that bag for the past few years now. Now obviously again, color blocking is a little bit different when it comes to the lace holes and things like that, but another big standout is the tongue. You have a lot more premium Jumpman and a lot larger Jumpman with the raised stitch here on the UNC pair compared to the flat Jumpman here, and a little bit less elaborate on the Lucky Shorts. Also on the back end of the tongue on the UNC pair, it has heart and soul right there, so one shoe says heart, the other one says soul. And then if you look at the Air Jordan 3 Lucky shorts, you can see different tab there as well, but it's the same on both feet. Now on the inside of the UNC general release, you have a red sock liner with the team issued branding, and then on these you have the Jumpman. So again, just a little bit more premium on this UNC pair. So overall, if I were to go blow for blow, shoe for shoe, I would say yes, I love both of these. I want to have both of them in my collection, but if I can only pick one, I probably would still go with the UNC pair, simply because it's just a little bit more premium on the little touches, I guess, if that makes sense. But also at the same time, to argue that statement, the materials on the Lucky shorts is better overall when it comes to the leather, the suedes, things like that. Now comparing these to the UNC PE, you're gonna see a lot of similarities to the other pair. The huge difference on these is gonna be the tongue with the UNC branding, and then on the outsole you can see these have different outsoles than the previous pair like you saw, similar to these. Another big thing is the cut of these two shoes. This was that older, I guess, new retro style that we had for a good amount of time, and they finally transitioned into giving us that OG cut. So a big thing you can see is on the tongue, the white leather is folded back. You can't see the blue from the front, but if you look at these, you can still see the blue from the front. A big difference there. The shape of the toe, overall shape of the two shoes, I would go with the Lucky shorts. When it comes to the branding and the look of the two shoes, I'm gonna go with the UNC, just because these both resemble UNC, and obviously this one just makes more sense. For that reason, I like this one a little bit more. But again, don't get me wrong, I love both of these two shoes, and that's why they're in my collection. Now another big thing that stands out on this pair, you're gonna have the same thing as special tab here, but this one says football because these are specifically for the football team. And another dope element to these, you have that argyle print like you see on the sock liner here on the inside of the foot. It's fun because I still got my old UNC shorts with that same argyle print on them to this day, so it's always fun rocking these. I got the white pair and the blue pair from the early 2000s back in the day, so like how they did it on the Air Jordan 6s and things like that. It's always fun to see those little touches. So if you guys are new on the channel, I posted a poll on my Instagram story to see what everybody else thinks, and I share the results here on the channel. So the first question was, is this shoe fire or trash? What do you think about it? Initially it started off really strong. It was like in the 85 percentile, but then over time, after a day, I'm looking at it now and it says 71% to 29%. Honestly, that makes sense, but still respectable. Now when it comes to the UNC GR right here, you have 89% to 11%, which means what? People like the shoe a little bit more. Now I had to do it just because we were doing the poll. So the UNC PE asked the same question and people said 93% to 7%. So obviously unanimous winner. But the question is, will these two side by side go head to head, and what will happen with this decision right here? Because I feel like, you know, sometimes you got that new hot shiny thing, people start to gravitate to that, but I don't know, we'll see. So I asked the people, I just ranked them all three, and I was like, which one's the best? 61% of the people chose the PE, 24% of the people chose the GR, and 15% of the people chose the Lucky shorts. Initially when I posted the poll, the results were a little bit skewed in the opposite direction. The Lucky shorts was in second place and the UNC GR was in third, but then over time, I guess everybody's made their decision and that's the final result. So let me know what you think about the poll results down below in the comment section, and how you guys feel about this shoe. Is this something that you plan on adding to your collection? Do you want to wait for them to go on sale and catch them for a better rate? Or do you think this is something that you just never want to add, or you know, you didn't care about the storyline, whatever it may be? I would love to hear down below in the comment section. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. We got a ton more stuff to review. I appreciate you as always. We're getting really close to 400K, so help me get there. Hit that subscribe button. All right, you guys, I'll see you in another one.